What is up, everybody? This is Dubisttot and I am back again, and today we're going to be taking a look at how you can turn your alt army into a gold printing machine. In my last video, we took a look at a method for leveling up alts incredibly fast in Midnight, and if you missed that video, I do recommend checking it out. But naturally, there was a lot of comments asking how you could be turning all those alts into a ton of gold. In that video, I mentioned that having as many alts as possible is just incredibly beneficial in current WoW when it comes to gold making, and today we're going to be taking a look at the methods I use to be making a ton of gold. There's a couple different methods that we're going to go over in this video, and the ones that you use really depends on how much time you're wanting to spend on these different alts. With that being said, let's just go ahead and dive right into the first method that we're going to cover today, and that is doing your weekly quests and activities. This is going to be the most time-consuming method that you can do, but it's also going to be the most predictable in that you're going to be getting raw gold for everything that you're doing. For starters, you'll want to talk to the NPCs that give out the quest in Silver Moon. They'll have a couple different options. I typically go for either the world quest or the world boss, as it's just something I'm going to be doing anyway, so if I can knock out two birds with one stone, it's just a bonus. After grabbing that quest, I head off and start doing the other weekly activities, mainly the Soiree and Eversong and the Abundance event, which also happened to be an Eversong this week, which did help. There's also the Haranir weekly quest, but you can only do that one once per week per account, so you can't do that on all your alts, which is pretty annoying because it is a very quick 2,000 gold, so hopefully they'll change that in the future. There's also the Stormarian Assault, but I also hesitate to recommend doing that just because it does take so long. It takes almost 10 minutes to complete it, which is probably more time than most people want to be spending on one activity. With the timer running, it took us 3.5 minutes to fly from Silver Moon to pick up the Soiree quest in Eversong and to complete it. So that was 2,000 gold in 3.5 minutes, and now we're on to the Abundance event. And before anyone asks why the timer's at 11.5 minutes when I said it only took 3.5, that's because I did go and do the Haranir quest just because I forgot about the fact you can only do it once per account. So that did take about 6 minutes, but anyways, here we are doing Abundant. So unfortunately you cannot speed this one up, you're at the mercy of the timer, but it only took us 3.5 minutes. So if you put those together, it took 7 minutes to make 4,000 gold. That's something you can easily do on all of your alts pretty quickly. If you have more time to spend, you can also check each day for the different world quests that are available. Sometimes you'll have some that are worth gold, and it averages out to about 1,000 gold per world quest, and they're all pretty quick to complete. While recording for this video the last couple days, I was checking the world quest every day on my new level 90 shaman just to test this out, and in 5 days I made 19,000 gold just from logging in and doing the world quest each day. I didn't spend any more than 15 minutes any given day to do these world quests, and the one day that I did spend 15 minutes is because there was 5 world quests in one day. On average, I'd say I was only spending about 7 or 8 minutes a day to do these world quest checks, so it's something that if you have the time, I do recommend doing it just because, once again, it is guaranteed gold and it's pretty quick. The other benefit to doing the world quests is that sometimes throughout the week, the different zones will have special assignment world quests, which will require you to do a certain number of world quests in that zone to unlock them. And if you do unlock those, they take a couple minutes to complete, but once you complete them, you'll get a chest that will have another 2,000 gold. So for instance, this week they had quests in Haranir and Voidstorm, and I didn't go out of my way to do any additional world quests to unlock those. I just got that from doing the gold world quest. And as you can see, they were done pretty quick, and I got 2 chests for 4,000 gold total in just a couple minutes of work. I also can't forget that after completing those world quests, we did complete the weekly quest that requires us to complete 6 world quests. So we went ahead and turned that in as well for another chest for another 2,000 gold. So if you add all of this up so far, we're at 29,000 gold, and we only spent maybe a little over an hour to complete everything so far. But there's also other methods that are less time consuming and can make you even more gold, so let's go ahead and dive into those as well. Now, all of these methods are going to be profession based, which does mean that you'll have to build up your professions a little bit on each of your alts, which does stink, but it's quick enough, and after the first week, you should be able to get everything up and running. But anyways, the first method we're going to talk about is probably the most popular, and I'm sure you've heard of it, and that is the concentration army. This method, as the name suggests, relies on using your concentration whenever you have it up to craft highly profitable crafts, which it's going to depend on your profession what those are. And there are some professions like tailoring where it's just dead and there's nothing profitable. That's why I highly recommend using alchemy and enchanting, because it's just easy to level up as well as the crafts are still pretty profitable. The goal is to get a craft that you can get the skill level down so that you only need to use 330 concentration, meaning that you can make 3 of the crafts in one go. Once you've made those concentration crafts, the concentration will recharge over the next couple days, and typically it'll take 4 days to fully recharge your concentration, at which point you can redo your crafts again. Once you get to that point, it literally only takes a couple minutes to log into each character and do this. And while doing it, you're getting upwards of 10 to 15,000 gold per week per character. Now, if you want to take that and add that to the world quests and activities from the last method, we're already pushing 40 to 45,000 gold per character per week. And the good news is that is not the last method either. We have my favorite method, and I think the best gold maker of this entire list. So let's go ahead and dive into that method, which is doing your patron orders for the different trade goods as well as the moxie that you can get for doing them. Now this one is pretty simple. You just log in every day and check the different patron orders that you have and do any of them that you can that do not require concentration to complete. Just from doing these, you'll get bags that will have different trade goods and sometimes have petrified roots which sell for hundreds of gold, helpful handiwork that also sell for a couple hundred, and of course augment runes which sell for sometimes near 1,000 gold a piece. By doing these every day, I was getting about an average of anywhere from 1 to 3,000 gold from day just by logging in and doing these, which only took a couple of minutes. But more importantly, as you're doing these throughout the week, you'll be racking up moxie, which can be used to buy these surplus reagent bags from the vendors by the different profession trainers. And if you log in each day and do these on your characters for each profession that you have, by the end of the week, you should have enough moxie to buy one of the bags for each profession. So these bags guarantee you rank 2 trade goods for each of the professions. And the amount of gold that you'll get from these bags is just insane. As you can see, I'm opening some here, and just look at the number of dawn crystals and the petrified roots that I got from one single bag. So from just that enchanting bag that I opened, I got just over 13,000 gold. And I'd say that's some pretty solid gold considering it takes maybe 5 minutes a day at max per character to log in and do this. So as I mentioned, each profession has one of these bags that you can buy, including gathering professions, but they all differ in value. So I went through and pulled the estimated value of the different reagent bags, and as you can see, skinning and leatherworking lead the way at just under 10,000 gold. And I tested this and it was pretty on the dot. Mining follows at 9,800, and then alchemy, inscription, and herbalism for 8,600, enchanting for 8,300, and blacksmithing, engineering, and jewel crafting down at 5,760, and tailoring, just forget it exists, it's a dead profession, at just over 1,600 gold. So if you do this for both of your professions throughout the week, you'll be getting almost 20,000 gold just from the moxie bags, and then probably another 10 to 15 just for doing the patron orders themselves. If you add that to the other methods we've talked about in this video so far, we're pushing anywhere from 70 to 80,000 gold just for one character this week. And to kind of recap the amount of time that's being spent on each character using these methods, I'm spending probably 15 to 20 minutes per character per day, depending on how many gold world quests there are. And if you don't want to spend the time on the world quests and just focus on professions themselves, you're honestly only probably spending about 5 minutes per character per day. And that's still going to get you almost 40 to 50,000 gold in a week, just from spending barely any time playing a character. And once you start getting the power of your alt army into there, you're going to be making millions of gold throughout the course of this expansion. But anyways guys, that is about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and it helps you make a lot of gold in this expansion. And I want to also thank everyone for your support on the videos lately. They've been doing amazing, and I've been having a lot of fun responding to everyone in the comments as well. And if you have any questions at all about this video, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. I try to respond to as many as possible, and even if I don't, you guys have been super helpful responding to other people's comments as well. And also, if you did like this video, I would appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. And also, if you don't want to miss any of my future videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But anyways, guys, that is enough rambling for today. So, as always, this has been Dubisttot, and I will see you guys later.